Good evening. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Talk Think program that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American, Black, Negro, colored didn't come to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. And when we say think, talk, we hope that before you are talking, you are thinking. That's very important because sometimes we'll just blurt out stuff in our emotions and we'll stay stuck in those emotions for 30, 40, 50 years. And it's sad to watch, people not being able to make themselves renew themselves every day like we once do. I mean, we do it, but I think it's been done so long in our evolutionary history that the effects from that helps us a lot. But I think at some point of time, we have to make some kind of effort towards that. You know what I'm saying? It's like the father that builds a business. If his children doesn't help run the business, then the business fails. That's a main thing that goes on in our communities. We have to work together. We have to work together. So what I wanted to do today, I want to share an email that I got from a person in South Africa. I don't know if it's a male or female that wrote it. I'm thinking it's a female, but it could have been a male. But they had an interesting question about how we do things over here. I want to read part of the letter to you, and I want to get your feedback on it. What do you think? Good afternoon. My name is Atumalane. I'm Swanna, and I live in South Africa. Your African Americans ain't Africans is the simplest truth I have heard in my life. What you are saying is simple to understand. I have a question for you. Do you think it would be possible to somehow fuse the people with the land? I will be eagerly awaiting your response. And I listen to all your content. It's like a good song. Thank you, Atumalane. So when I got that email, I was like, wow, that's on the other side of the world, on the other side of the equator. But I found the question, relevant because it said something to us all. I know South Africa, they're on a different part of the planet. They don't look at things the way people in America look at it, simply by where they're situated on the planet. They have different weather patterns. I mean, it's all kind of different. They're at different sea levels and all. If you knew the intricacies that you fit into this planet, it would blow your mind. But she said something that is common to both, and I just wanted to bring that out, and I want to share that with you. She says, is it somehow possible to fuse the people with the land? And why that is important is because people come from a certain land. Nature creates all. Nature creates us. I know it's something that we've been trained away from, but nature creates us. You don't think that's nature that have all the 18 and 19-year-olds at each other trying to make babies? You don't think we're guided by you think we just do what I want to do? It don't work like that. We're part of something larger than all of us, something that's there to help us, but yet we don't seem to want to have a connection to it. We're aloof. We throw our nose up at it, and you've seen the consequences. You see it. But she said, how do you fuse the people with the land? Why this is important is because that's what African American Ain't African is doing. So I want to show you how she's connected to the land, and you can see it because everybody does it. And I'm going to show you how we've been disconnected from it. And then I'm going to show you how you're getting back to it. So in her letter, she says, my name is Atumalane, I'm Swanna, and I live in South Africa. So what does that statement mean? And this is what I mean by us. See, we think we could just name ourselves Alizé, stuff that don't mean shit. It don't mean nothing. And other people are naming themselves, connecting themselves to the earth. She says, she gives her name, and she says, I'm Swanna. What is Swanna? So like, okay, so we're gonna compare and contrast South Africa, how they do it, to how we do it over here. So she says her name, then she says, I'm Swanna. What is Swanna? If you check it out, Swanna, you've ever heard of the country called Botswana? It's over there by South Africa. Wars and stuff rip the people apart. I mean, you can study the history. But she's telling you what part of the world she's from, who her people are. That's connecting her to a people who are connected to a land. And those people who live in that part of the land, they did something. Kind of like it used to be how you used to do it when you used to do cotton. That was your industry. When you used to do tobacco, that was your industry. That's who your people were. So she's asking, how can I fuse the people back with those people? And I'm going to tell you how we're doing that in a minute. Fusing the people back to the land, and we're not going to be long. Fusing the people back to the land. I like how she used fusing. They use words to say that means the same thing that we use, but they just say a different word, fusing. And so this is my understanding of what she means, fusing. When she says fusing the people with the land, I thought about, okay, so let's say those people who ran the cotton industry, or the people in Botswana, those people as a unit, they work together to accomplish a certain goal on the earth, whatever that goal was, because if they were connected to the earth, I'm sure the earth was letting them know or communicating to them what it needed, what needed to be done, what not. Simple to understand. Okay, so how do we fuse the people back to the land? And this is my suggestion. There may be others. I'm sure there are. There's those that many of us we won't do. We'll die before we do it. Who are you? Where are your roots really? So One of the ways, how do you fuse the people back to the land? You start with them. And this is what we've been doing. It's a simple concept. I mean, a ant understands this process. Every, not some, not a couple, not a lot, every baby that is born is rooted to its mother. Yes or no? Yes. Every tree is rooted to the earth. Yes or no? This is just how simple it is. What happens with us over here and what cuts us off from that psychologically is we believe stories that men can create women and men can live in a whale's mouth for 3 days and don't drown. We believe stupid shit like that. Yeah, we do. And we'll die for it. See, that's how we're cut off. If you've never been to a place called Mississippi, it is one of the most beautiful places I have ever seen on the face of this earth. If you've ever been to Mississippi, it's one of the most beautiful places on earth. Why is it made to be such a horrible place? To scare the original inhabitants off of it. Why? Why they do Emmett Till like that? And why haven't we made them pay for that? Because I do what I want to do. We don't work as a group. See, they work as a group. We don't believe in that. Uh, Indigenous people starting to wake up, y'all. These young men and women, they starting to see, oh shit. See, they're asking the questions that the civil rights group didn't ask. The civil rights group just wanted a job. They played a game, and they can't deny it. That was a waste of damn near 100 years. Turning your economic base over to somebody else because you want to eat at their restaurant. For real, cuz? Are you serious? Trees are rooted to the earth like the baby's rooted to the mother. Those are the stories that you put out. Where? You go look for them. See, we always in somebody else's stories. We don't look up the stories that our people wrote. We don't look up the stories that other people wrote about the Accomacs. We don't do that. We wander off and go read everybody else's and want to be everybody else. The tree is connected to the earth like the baby is to the mother. That's why they call the earth Mother Earth. This is your definition. This is how you're looking at it. This is not how people on the other side of the water is looking at it. This is how the people here looked at it. Everything was simple. All you do is help out. Everybody pushing a car. If you got one person pushing a car, three, four, five more people jump on it, he can push it with his finger. And that's what we are to the earth. We're the leaves to the tree. We're the leaves to the tree. It's going to get to a point where there's not going to be any questions asked because everything is right in your face. It's up to you to figure it out. It's up to you to know. You don't have to have nobody tell you anything. You should be able to look for yourself and see right or wrong. Do the right. Spike Lee told you what, 30 years ago? Do the right thing. Ain't that what you always teach your kids? Do the right thing. Shouldn't we be doing the right thing? Is this how you connect yourself back to the land and stop playing? Once you find out who your people are, and this is what I mean, connecting yourself, uh, the tree is connected to the earth. The people are trees that can move. That's all they are. You don't see people trying to confront trees. Trees are here to give us oxygen. Trees are here to feed some of the other life forms here. Trees are here for birds to lay their nest in. You don't cut them down just because you want to suck some oil out of the ground. Very important part of the biosphere. When you check out American history, when you check out history from your point of view, you're gonna see a whole different picture. You're gonna see a whole different picture. Do you the eastern on the east coast of America? Because um, the Amazon forest that stretched up into North America. See, a lot of us don't know that. We don't look at America. We look at America as the United States. What is the landmass of the Americas? It stretches from Alaska down to Chile and Canada, Mexico, United States, South America, Central America, and I think that up there past Alaska, I think it's land up there. They just try to hide it with a lot of ice. This is just me. It may not be. I'm just saying. Once you find your people, so if the mother anchors the baby, who? Where is the mother from? Not just mama, grandmama, great grandmama, great great grandmama, because you come through all of them. If one of them's out the picture, you out the picture. That's how intricate this shit is, y'all. This ain't no joke. You ain't some black person. Very important. The people here, the people in America at this time, very important people. But if you ain't acting like it, your ass don't deserve it. And with the way the arrogance that we do it, when we see what's happening, you you think it's gonna get any better? Once you find out where that grandmama is, where they are, and remember, also check when you look at where they're from, also check out what was going on. So let's say if you're going back, let's say if checking for your great great grandmother, you want to check your mother and father's grandmothers. And I'm just saying, I'm not saying do not check the fathers. I'm not saying that. But the mothers are important because they're rooted to the earth. Which means you're rooted to and since you're rooted to her, you're rooted to the earth too. And this is for everybody listening. We all connected. We all connected because we all got a mother. Now, is how you look at the female. Those ideas are given to you or given to these people you call heroes that sing songs and whatnot. Determines your fate. Once you find who your people were, so let's say you go back to 1860 and you find out that your people were the people on the eastern seaboard in Virginia. And I like to use Virginia because Virginia is one of the first places they talk about. And if you do the history, you check out the history of Virginia, it'll blow you away. It's seriously it's like watching porn, but it's not. You get that excited. That's the history of your folks. So let's say you go back into 1860s and you find out that your great great grandmama was from that part of Virginia. And you go back another generation, her mother's from there, but then you can't find nothing else. A lot of times, this is where that comes in. And this is why I say we got to be thinking. We got to be up on it. We can't be dumb. So where did that woman come from? The one that just appeared that you can find her. Her name is probably on a grave, wherever you find it. Where did she come from? So you have to remember that these people are coming into America and they're setting up these cities. Remember, they was calling you wild Indians, savages. You lived out in the what they call the wilderness. They say if you hear a wolf howling, that's one of them niggas out there doing it. This is how they were training all the incomers to come in to get rid of you. Same shit they doing now. Only now we're welcoming them in. Hey, come on, you can do it. We don't care. That's the African American, right or wrong. And so you stop playing. Because you're going to get to the point where you're playing and you're going to get played. The people that you call African American, the people that you call black, the people that you call Negro, colored, these are the Americans. These are the people birthed in this part of the land, in the world. And you're made to feel like it ain't yours so other people can come over and take your shit. And that's what's happening. So you fuse yourself back to the earth by following those mothers. They are your mother. Like it gets so confusing. Sometimes you just say your mother. Find out where she's from, what they did, and that's your job. So wouldn't it be, what kind of industry would it be if Negroes took back the tobacco industry, if they made cigarettes and sold them all over the world? What kind of industry would that be? Serious. Why aren't these ideas put forth? Why don't schools use these? What? Just that I just gonna be a dumb nigga boss. That's the African American. Why doesn't the African American produce cars? Why does the African American feel proud when he has other person's products in his possession? That's a big one. See, you can't go to the African American's house and find nothing he made in there. Everything he has in there, somebody else made, and he proud. That's what I'm saying. Those people are not connected to Earth. Furniture. You was building houses made of bark. Check out the concept. The bark insulates the trees. Somebody thought of the idea that the bark will insulate you. You don't have to chop down the tree. These are what the people were doing. These are what your ancestors were doing. And we have been cut off from that. It's a crime against humanity, and we can do some things, but we got to be on the same page, y'all. Somebody come give you a silver dollar and make you go close your eyes like it's always done. You tired of that? Ain't you tired of seeing the old ladies' faces? Brothers can barely walk down the street because, oh, down here, they work these brothers, man. Damn. I mean, damn. Because we have no industry. Not even thinking of building one. You can forget the civil rights. They're gone. You've seen what they did. If we do another generation of that, we're done. Right or wrong. Got to start looking at life on how it really is. Serious? We gonna keep going like all nut. We don't see none of this. Okay. All right. All right. Find your mom. Find your moms. Find out where they're from. Find out what part of the earth they're from. This is what we mean by fusing you back to the earth. Because you know those people grew their own medicines. There goes some of your antidotes right there. There's some of your antidotes right there. They were calling your mamas witches because they was competing with the pharmaceutical industry. Sister, just go out and go get some herbs and you heal. We're cut off from that. We don't know that no more. We're not into it. Man, I ain't got time for that shit. So connect yourself back to the land. I think that will be a help for everybody. Not only physically, psychologically too. Check out the land. Check out where the part where your people are from, where they come from, and you will learn a whole bunch about yourself. So we're gonna go ahead and end it now. Thank you guys for checking us out. Spread this message. African Americans ain't Africans. If anybody want to talk to me about it, step. But back up what you say. Cause see, that's why a lot of these brothers don't step. Cause I know they bullshit. And it makes no sense of what they say. None of them. And we just, any ideology that comes along, we fall for it. That's brother's problem. Anybody can tell you anything because you too dumb to look at the situation yourself and figure it out for yourself. That's why it's done. And don't get mad when you somebody call you dumb. They're just calling what you do, what you are. Are you kidding? You're not educating your kids yet. Those people aren't smart. You know, you know your kids getting miseducated, but still you send them. Are you crazy? Yeah. Don't call me crazy. Yeah, you're crazy. And this is where we are. We in 2020 and we think, yeah, nigga, we rolling, cuz. The worst education system in the world. And where your kids are is worse than that. And you cool with it. I can't, that's just how it is. Find your people. Your mama, everybody's rooted to the mama. Just take her back as far as you can. Because in America, hey, in Kentucky, see, this is another thing that we lose out on because we playing. You know that this cat Mitch McConnell, he's the governor up in Kentucky. You know he just sold part of Kentucky to the Russians so they can open a aluminum company. Check it out. What is that going to do to the land where the people are up there? See how foreigners come to your house and do whatever they want to do, and you don't say a damn thing about it. Don't even care. That has to stop. We gonna pick you guys up next time. Stay in the light.